Hi folks, Chris Voss here from the chrisvossshow.com and chrisvossgaming.com. You can take and subscribe to our show. You can go to youtube.com/Chris Voss, hit that bell notification button. You can subscribe to Chris Voss Gaming Podcast or the Chris Voss Show Gaming Podcast and see all the cool game development interviews that we're doing for game developers on Steam, PS4, Xbox, you name it. All that good stuff. And of course, we give away codes and all that stuff. So you want to definitely subscribe as well. You can go to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Chris Voss. Today, we are reviewing Metro Exodus. You can go to their website at metrothegame.com. Of course, you can find this on PS4, Xbox, PC. If you go to the EA servers, you can get it on PC. I got to tell you, this is an amazing, mind-blowing, super cool, worth every dime you're going to spend on it, and more some when it really comes down to how many hours and play and different adventuring that there is in this game. I was super impressed with it, and of course it just builds on the prior versions that they've had of Metro over the years, but this thing is really awesome. Now, we played it on both PC and PS4. It plays beautifully on both consoles. I highly recommend playing it on PC, especially if you've got a good gaming PC, because if you get the 60 frames per second, you can get 2K or 4K in detail on here. It looks immaculate. The artwork, the detail, everything that has gone into the beautiful design of this game when it comes to visually and conceptually of everything in the environment, what you interact with, what you work with, guns, everything. Just looks like a beautiful CGI movie, if you will, if you see this in 4K. So I highly recommend that. Even if you only have 1080p on a PC, it's still really beautiful, and you'll still love it on consoles if you go to Xbox or PS4. So I can recommend anything, but I think if I were to give you a first choice, I'd say get it on PC if you have a PC that's built for it. The nice thing is, it's pretty contained in the game where you don't have to be online for it. In fact, I found that out because I was playing it. My internet went down locally here, and I still was able to keep playing. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of games today. You can't keep doing that. Yeah, usually once you get kicked offline, you can't keep playing the game. So it's a lot of fun. Now, this is a survival horror FPS, first-person shooter that you're going to be playing, and there's not too much horror. There's a nice balance. I mean, it's more scary, and they thin you out depending upon the 5 hardness levels that you choose for how hard you want it to be. And of course, the harder it is, the less ammo they give you, and the more that you really have to conserve ammo. You're of course crafting your own ammo, crafting bombs, throwing knives, things like that. So a bit of a challenge with that. And of course, you can make it really easy, or you can make it super, super hard. And it affects your enemy fights, all that sort of good stuff. But I can see this being a game where you might want to go through it the first time on easy mode just to kind of get through the story and get a feel for the game. And then, you come back and play it 2 or 3 times later, making it harder and harder, more challenging as you master the game. This game might be worth hundreds of hours of play when it comes down to it. There's 3 big open sandboxes where you can do these 3 big maps they have, and then there's all sorts of little missions, pieces, and stories. One of the great things that Metro did with this game is they made just a wonderful story, engaging characters that aren't annoying like the ones you find in Anthem. There's no back and forth one where you have to keep pushing a button to keep some inane conversation going. The conversations are about the storyline. They're interesting. There's plot twists in there. There's different choices you have to make. This is, of course, a game where there's a reputation value to it, where as you do your character development and everything else, crafting your weapons, you can, you have a reputation, and you can have a different ending depending upon how you go through the story. And of course, your experience is based upon your reputation. So if you did just go through and kill everything, you're going to have a lot of things angry at the end of the game. So you have to pick, what battles, and the choices you make, of course, make an end-game decision for you. There's a bevy of enemies, just tons of great enemies, beautifully designed, even though they're scary as hell. And how the game works is, and one aspect I liked about it, they didn't give you too many guns. Like, there's some games they give you like 50 trillion guns. It's just like overwhelming choice. what they did is they stuck with a small footprint of guns. And what you do is you spend most of your time upgrading those guns, cleaning them, finding pieces and parts. There's a lot of scavenging to the game, and you can literally go building to building in the game in these maps that they have, and just search for stuff, and you can find all sorts of really, cool little pieces here and there, and stuff that you wouldn't think it is. You could literally spend hours just on the maps on here, just scavenging for stuff, just going in buildings, looking around stuff. So if you're one of those people who loves that sort of scavenge, adventure, survival, horror, FPS, this is going to be a game for you. Really, really beautiful, and well built. We've gotten past this launch, and evidently there might have been a few things that got patched, and it worked really well and smooth for us. We were very impressed with it. The story is real cool and deep. You get into the stories, the storyline. You really do feel like you're in a post-apocalyptic world, if you will. Environment, having to scavenge for stuff, always being out of ammo, always having to find ammo, always making sure that you've got, enough for a firefight if you get caught with a bunch of monsters and different things like that. Each one of the characters has a story development in it that you really get into them. You kind of get to know them. You feel like you're part of a team. It really does suck you in, and it's very addictive. I normally like, fast shooter games, boom, 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 run through stuff and all that sort of good stuff. This thing is really cool because you can take your time, you can pace yourself, you can actually kind of really absorb the game. And you might spend 100 hours playing the first round if you just go scavenge for everything and everything else. You can make it super, super hard, or you can make it super, super easy to go through it. And I think you'll love it. The crafting the games is fun. Like I said, they didn't overthink it. They made it so it's quick, fast, and easy. There's a bevy of really cool characters that are in it. Monsters, interesting guns, interesting weapons, and of course there's different mechanisms where you got to clean your weapons and all that sort of good stuff. And as you progress through the storyline and everything else that goes into it, it's pretty interesting. And it's an engaging storyline too. It's not a stupid storyline where you're just like, oh, I can see where this is going. It really takes you on a journey, and you really don't see what the end of that journey is. And so it's a great plot line when it comes down to it. Anyway, 2 thumbs up for this product. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. The only downside of this game was that, God, I wish it was multiplayer because I could play with my friends. But, I get why it's built the way it is. Maybe someday they'll have a I don't know. You never know what people are going to do. But still, this is a great freaking game as a solo player, and I think you're going to enjoy it. There's twists, turns, and different ways you can go all throughout it, and lots of surprises, lots of scary stuff, lots of freaky stuff, if you will, and not too much horror, but enough horror and gore to kind of put you on the edge of your seat and, make you scared and go, oh, I don't know what's going to happen next. So I think you'll enjoy it. Be sure to check it out. You can go to metrothegame.com, tell them Chris Voss sent you, and be sure to get it. I highly recommend on PC. I got to tell you, on PC, it just looks so beautiful, which most stuff does on PC. And since you're going to spend so many hours in the game, and the artwork, just the artwork and thought process they put into it are just immaculate. So just being able to see that and everything else. But, if you want to play on a console, I think you're going to have a good experience too. We played on the console first and really enjoyed it. So anyway, I highly recommend it. Be sure to check it out. Be sure to subscribe to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Chris Voss. Also go to youtube.com/Chris Voss. Also, Chris Voss Gaming. .com. You can subscribe to the podcast, get a chance to win free game codes that we give away, and interviews with your favorite game developers. Also, you can go to thechrisvossshow.com, tell them Chris Voss sent you, or you can see all 7 of our podcasts on Chris Voss Podcast Network. Thank you for tuning in. We certainly appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.